Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is Sutton Stracke backtracking and saying that she was told to interrupt Dorit Kemsley on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Do you believe her or not? Let's get into it. And then she also talks the upcoming feud and the big wallet diss and everything else from Erika slamming her to Craig Conover rumors and what is going to go down at the reunion. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's go. This is according to Reality Blurb. It says Sutton Stracke opened up about the moment in which she was instructed to break the fourth wall on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after Tuesday night's episode. After interrupting Dorit Kemsley as she spoke about her 10-year-old son Jagger's reaction to her split from PK, Sutton reflected on her season 14 drama with Dorit, teased the upcoming reunion, reacted to Erika Jayne, saying she needs to show more on the show, and responded to claims of potential romance with Craig Conover. Quote, I almost never break the fourth wall, but I was told to do that because we had to leave. We had been there for a while and we had to get to Garcelle's house, Sutton explained during a February 18th interview with Entertainment Tonight. I was the person and I didn't do it well. I was bad at it. I tried to find a segue because we were all on a timeline. In addition to cutting Dorit off during the emotional discussion, Sutton is seen declaring that her wallet is bigger than her co-stars in a preview of an upcoming episode. I'm not going to give anything away, but it wasn't my finest moment, Sutton admitted of the dig, adding she hopes she and Dorit can get to a better place eventually. Looking ahead to the reunion, Sutton suspected a number of cast members would have a rough time. Kyle Richards seems to be in the hot seat this season. I'm probably going to get it pretty bad. And I think Dorit, she's really strong this season and she'll have a lot to say, Sutton shared. Going into the reunion is always a bit scary, but I've said I'm sorry so many times and I've apologized for things that I've said to faces this season. I know I'm going to get it. I like things to be resolved. I do. It makes me sleep better at night. And there's a few who I'd like to get in a better place with. While Sutton confirmed that Dorit was strong amid filming, she clarified it's the same Dorit, just a little bit louder. Okay. I'll stop there, then we'll get back to the episode, or to the article rather. I agree 100% with this is the same Dorit, just a little bit louder. That to me speaks volumes and is so spot on. I think this Dorit we're seeing, who is swearing, who is erratic, who is combative, who is calling people see you next Tuesday, who's doing the whole smoking scene, who's, really nasty and mean, that's the real Dorit. That's who she's always been. She's just been pretending for the last few seasons to be weaker and quiet and sort of getting along to go along and blah, 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 because she probably didn't want to have to actually show up and do her job. She didn't want to actually show what's going on with her and PK, their finances. I'm still on the fence on if I believe their separation timeline and reasoning. I think it's all because of money. I think it's because of I'll just say alleged bankruptcies, foreclosures, lawsuits, fraud schemes, insurance scams. The list goes on and on and on. And I think that is the core root of this alleged separation and split, but she doesn't want to be honest about it. She wants to blame it on PK's alcoholism. PK wants to blame it on her being a volatile and mean person. But I think she's always known PK drinks. Do I think PK is actually an alcoholic? No, I think they're doing that for the show. He has a sober companion or a sober coach, they said. I don't know. I've never seen PK lit on the show. And I think when you have issues, maybe he's just really good at hiding it. But I don't know. Again, I think that's a bunch of smoke and mirrors to deflect from the core issues of the mismanagement, the fraud, and all of that going on with their finances as the core reason. I think he resents her. I think he feels like he did all this to make her happy, and now look where he's at. I think she resents him, where she was like, I thought you were this multi-millionaire business guy who could give me the life, and now look where we're at. I think they resent each other, that they both bought into something that wasn't real. The emperor has no clothes, the Kemsleys have no money. And I think that they both resent each other. And I think she's always been a nasty person. And I think he's always been the way he is. And now this is where we're at. So I agree with her assessment of that. Now, do I think that production told Sutton to interrupt Dorit in order for them to get on the road? No. I think Sutton's lying, and I really like Sutton, but I think if production needed them to leave in order to get on the road, I think production would have said that to them. I think production was like, okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's get on the road. Let's go. Production steps in and gives direction to the women all of the time. You just don't catch it. They just don't film it on camera to show us. But production gives them directions all of the time. So if it's a scheduling issue, if it's a timeline issue, they would just say, all right, ladies, wrap it up. We're heading out. I don't think that they would say, hey, Sutton, because we are on a deadline, we need you to go interrupt Dorit. And when would that happen? They were all standing around listening to Dorit talk. Did Sutton step away and production said to her, not like, it doesn't make any sense. I think she's trying to backtrack that because she got so much backlash for it. Where I think she should just double down and be like, yeah, I interrupted her. She was talking ad nauseum on and on and on and on and on. And we were ready to hit the road. It is what it is. I don't think production told Sutton to interrupt her. It doesn't make any sense. Also, on the after show, Sutton never said that. She doubled down and was just like, yeah, I interrupted her. We had to go. She could tell this story at Garcelle's house. Like, it's time to hit the road, Jack. Let's do it. Why wouldn't she say that the production interrupted her on the after show? Why is she randomly saying it now to Entertainment Tonight? Doesn't make any sense. So, Sutton, I love you, girl, but just own it. You interrupted her. Everybody was glad you did because it was going on and on. Double down on it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, as for Erika suggesting she needed to show more of her real life on the show, Sutton pointed to a number of personal storylines she shared throughout her 5 years on the show. I've talked about my father unaliving himself when I was 32 years old. I've talked about my divorce. I've talked about my daughter going to college. Now I've talked about a relationship with my mother. What else do you want from me, Erika? She wondered. Then, when asked if Erika should show more, Sutton laughed. I just leave Erika alone. As the season continues, I agree where I think now I don't agree with Erika because I do think Sutton is showing her life. But I think Erika could show more of hers. She's been riding the coattails of the Tom Girardi lawsuit, and now that he's been found guilty and that's been sort of put to bed, why doesn't she open up about the lawsuits that she is still going through? She kind of talked about them like, oh, there's still some stuff, it'll resolve itself, but she didn't go into why are you being sued? Who is suing you? What's going on there? Where are you really getting your money from? How are you able to afford Porsches? How are you able to afford remodeling a multi-million dollar home that you live in? That doesn't come cheap. Her whole storyline was remodeling a house. That could have been one scene, not an entire storyline for an entire season. So what are you showing, Erika? Where is your money coming from? They're not paying you like that on Broadway. They're not paying you like that in Vegas. Bravo is paying you, but not the way you're living. You're still living above the means of a Bravo check. So where's your money really coming from? You like to lie and pretend like you were left so destitute and you don't get money from, Tom Girardi. And why should you? Number one, his money was blood money. And number two, you guys are still married. So how are you expecting to get alimony from a man that you're still legally married to? Because you only pretended to divorce him when the legal stuff came out. So shut up, Erika. Show us where your money is coming from. I want to see a big statement. I need a W-2, a 1099. Okay, I need to see something. Your 2024 tax return. I need some receipts, Erika Boo Boo, because where is your money really coming from? Is it coming from, slush money that Tom Girardi put away? Of the millions of dollars that he stole from his clients, which I can now say without allegedly because he has been proven guilty by a court of law that he stole millions of dollars. Did he put some of that client money away from you in those Wells Fargo's accounts that his friends access for you? We already know you got $500,000. That's just what we know about from that Wells Fargo account. Whose money was that? How are you still funding your life? You have a glam squad. You have designer clothes. You have a multi-million dollar house. You have luxury vehicles that you're buying and driving. You have a publicist. You have therapists. You have stylists. You have makeup art. Like, you're still doing it. You're remodeling your entire house. That's not cheap. Remodeling homes is not cheap. And the guy that you hired, that Martin guy, I think his name is, his commission, his fee is more than people pay for houses. He is a huge, huge interior designer stars. He actually had his own show on Bravo. He had his own reality show. He gets paid. So where is all of your money coming from, Erika, since you want to talk about Sutton? Sutton talks about where her money comes from. Her ex-husband. She's loud and proud about it. This is what I get in alimony. This is where my checks come from. This is where my money's coming from. This is what's good. So, Erika, until you're ready to be honest about where your money still comes from, leave Sutton alone. Anyway, as the season continues, viewers will see a tense moment between Sutton and Erika, in which Erika accuses Sutton of posing as a friend but working as an enemy. A lot just history, I think, went through my head at that moment. I think that's what I was thinking. Are we going back here? Sutton shared. Sutton also had some drama with Kyle during the season, but luckily her infidelity comment didn't put too much strain on their friendship. Kyle and I are great, Sutton confirmed. Also, during the interview, Sutton confirmed she's not currently dating, noting that she's interested in focusing on work, and she denied a potential romance with newly single Craig, who she was spotted with in Charleston weeks ago. He's just a cute as pie friend, but he's certainly a cutie pie. We're just friends, she stated. Okay, Sutton and Craig, y'all stop. Like, people are allowed to be friends. Now, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. What do you think about Sutton saying she was told to interrupt Dorit? I don't think she was. Just keep it 100% Sutton. We're on your side. And I think that her, my wallet is bigger than your wallet, diss to Dorit. Look, fair play. Dorit is out here trying to say that Sutton is an alcoholic. So if you're gonna call me an alcoholic, and I'm gonna tell you that my wallet is bigger than yours, so maybe I'm not the one to play with. F around and find out if you want to. Team Sutton. All right. And also when it comes to Erika versus Sutton, I'm Team Sutton. Erika, you want people to show their life? Show me your tax return. Show me your W-2s. Okay? I need to see it. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Who do you think is going to be in the hot seat during the reunion? And will Sutton and Kyle's friendship last? So as always, you guys, I will talk to you next time. Bye. Oh, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share.